So you might have to tick a little box. Oh, it's working because Denise just got in.
Hi, Grace and Denise.
All right, sweet. Okay, there's probably still going to be some people popping in, but that's okay. Welcome to the 5 by 5. As I really want to get into like the heart of how this thing works. But before we do that, I'm gonna hopefully be able to share the screen. I probably should have tried this before. So, okay, Heather, you're gonna get super confused because they're gonna be on this side now.
Oh,
So sorry. And the camera's on this side.
oh,
Heather, this confuses Heather with all the monitors, but that's okay. Um, so I'm gonna start. Can I do this here? Nope. So this is not gonna work. Crap, I should have turned that off. Okay, if you guys could help me out, I'm gonna share my screen one, and then hopefully I might have to switch here. Hold on 1 second. So let me. Okay, you guys should see a full screen, yes? Yes.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
thank you. Sweet. Okay, thank you. So I didn't do a really fancy PowerPoint because I'd rather talk about the program itself than kind of how I don't know, we act like we're super smart coming up with this, but the truth is after 13 years of doing this, we've had challenges and it's not always easy. And a lot of times what brought us to point A did not get us to point B. And, even after 10, 12, 13 years, it's still a struggle, if I'm being honest. So, I'll explain a little bit more about that. So we start June 1st. I see a lot of people have already started, that's cool. So right now, super quick, I just want to cover like who we are because we don't know a lot of people in here. Why we built this program, to be honest with you, is very selfish. We built it for us because we needed to get back to where we started and basically what to expect over the next 25 days. And then hopefully we have a whole bunch of time to answer any questions. I don't want to like share our story because this is not about us. This is actually about you. But 13 years ago, especially myself, I was in a really, really bad spot. I have some weird disease that I ended up taking way too many painkillers. I ended up getting addicted to fentanyl and alcohol. Life was a mess, and I really didn't care. So I ballooned up over 400 pounds. I could just about get myself off the couch and had trouble with like daily tasks. And since I stumbled on this plant-based thing, and my whole life changed. My perspective changed, but it's not just about food. And I think the more I do this, the more I learn that it's not just about food. Food is a tool. Food isn't the end goal. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But so, Heather, I lost half of my body weight. Heather lost 90 pounds as a byproduct, really, because she ended up going whole food plant-based a couple years after I did. And the thing is, like, this lifestyle starts in your kitchen. And I can tell you from experience, I tried to out exercise it. I tried to do crazy endurance stuff and it's not sustainable. So the key to this is not to show you how to lose weight. The key to this is to show you how to be sustainable. After 13 years, I've done enough things wrong, probably 100 wrong things to one thing that actually clicked. And that's really what this is about, is trying to help you find those things for you as well. So what I've learned, and I've done all these things, um, so I have quite a bit of experience, extreme dieting, starving yourself. I've tried all these things, just especially like in the shorter term, whether it was for a race or whatever. My journey actually started with a juice fast for 30 days, and it actually was super, super successful. That probably kickstarted my journey, but I've went back to that, many times. I'm like, I'm putting on some weight, so I do a 30-day juice fast. The weight comes off, but it always comes right back on. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a water fast or a juice fast when it's done right. But I'm saying if they can't be sustainable because you can't live on juice and water for the rest of your life.
Right.
Especially the excessive workouts. I don't think I went after this. I think both of us kind of
Mhm.
experienced it. I don't think I went after excessive workouts to burn massive amounts of calories to lose weight, but when you're training for long endurance stuff, and I know there's a few people in here that can attest to this, you obviously burn more calories and you get used to eating more food. And then this little thing in your head says, well, jeepers, I just burned 1,000 calories on my bike or on the run, so now I deserve this. And to be fair, a lot of times Strava or Garmin or Fitbit, whatever's telling you how many calories you're burning, your body adjusts. Your body is pretty amazing. It will adjust to this calorie burn. And I know when Strava tells me I burned 1,000 calories, there is no way I burned 1,000 calories, because I'd weigh about 120 pounds. So you can't always believe the caloric burn. And the problem is, and this happened to me multiple times, I'd get in a stride where I'm working out, 10, 12, 15 hours a week, and then I get injured. Well, my appetite is still huge. I'm still filling my face with food, albeit good food. And now all of a sudden you lose that calorie burn and you start putting weight on, your appetite doesn't go down and you put weight back on. So that doesn't work either, along with willpower. I'm a very strong-willed person. But I can tell you that willpower works until it doesn't. You're going to be hungry, miserable, have a bad day, and you're going to get crappy food. And that's willpower will only take you so far. I'm not saying that you don't need willpower because sometimes that's all you have to go on, but I think there's a better way to do it. So what does work? Um, I know this is almost embarrassing because I think everyone knows this stuff. Because I thought about this about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm like, what happened to us? Like, we were doing so good. I feel like we didn't change that much. But when I went back and, the beginning of my journey, I lost like 100 pounds the first year and it was almost effortlessly. And what happened is I learned more. And by learning more, things got more confusing. I didn't know what tofu was. I didn't know that there was plant-based foods out there. Like, I just knew rice, beans, potatoes, veggies. Like, that's what I knew. That's what I did. And I repeated it. And I'm like, I told Heather, I'm like, we just got to go back to where we
Mhm. And
started.
protein, yeah.
Yeah, and keep it, I hate to say keep it food boring, but I saw food differently. Like a lot of these plant-based foods, they're delicious. And I had this thing, and I'm gonna assume that people in this group can also hopefully agree with this. I had this idea in my head that I could eat whatever I wanted. Because the truth is, at 400 pounds, I could. As long as it was whole plant foods, I could eat whatever I wanted. And I lost weight. But then I came to a point where that didn't work anymore. And the cashews and the coconuts and the avocados, like that was like stalling me out big time, although it was whole food and it was also very healthy. It's still calories. And I think sometimes we forget, like the bottom line is this is literally a math problem. It's a thermodynamics problem. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. And if you're sustaining your caloric intake for the day, you're not going to gain or lose. And if you're eating too many calories that you're not burning, you're going to gain. And like that's where I should have started because it's true. And I think we forget that there's a separation between losing weight and health. We could do both, but yes, you can lose weight in a lot of different ways. They're not healthy at all. And yes, you can actually eat healthy food and actually gain weight because I'm proof of that. So all that said, what we really found out works is just simple, repeatable habits. And I know that that doesn't sound like a shocking like discovery, but it's true to go back to the basics. Obviously, we're huge advocates of whole plant foods. These, again, it really has nothing to do with losing weight. This is the way that I believe is the most optimal way to fuel your body for health, and compassion and all that other stuff that goes along with it. And we need a plan that fits our real life. I see so many people like want to do these crazy, like I love forks over knives, but man, some of the recipes in the app, like I don't even know where they get half of this stuff from. And that's good. Like on the weekends, if you want to get fancy or whatever, you have company over, that's fine. But for me, I need a plan that fits into my real life that I can do over and over. It's fast. I don't have to think about it, and I can move on with the stuff that matters in life. A system that reduces decision fatigue. We found this to be probably the most important thing. Again, I hate to keep going back to this. Come home, super tired, super miserable,
Mhm.
bad day. Open the fridge, there's nothing in there. So you have a choice. You can either go get dry rice out, start cooking, or potatoes that are going to take 40 minutes, or you can grab some junk food, or order pizza. And the thing is, like, you can make good decisions over and over until you can't. And
Mhm.
so the idea is to build a system around you that you don't have to have all that decision fatigue all the time.
And I think also, you know, when you have that problem, you wander into the grocery store too. And then if you're not prepared, you're wandering around and you're getting this, you're getting that same thing. You're hungry and
Yeah.
you're not prepared.
And again, this is something that we're terrible at. That's why we did this, the shopping list. Like if you had a list that you can go right to the store, I need this, 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 and stay away from the tubs of guac and the vegan sour cream and all that stuff, this is the way it works. Again, this is not new stuff, focusing on your environment rather than willpower. Environment is huge, and we've noticed that this is awful, but since our daughter moved out, I mean, we're at a very good advantage right now because we're alone, and our daughter would bring crappy food, and it was the worst kind of crappy food because it was vegan. So if it wouldn't have been vegan, it would have been no problem. But when there's the tortilla chips and even some Oreos once in a while, like, it's vegan food, but I shouldn't be eating it, but it was always in her cupboard. And do you know how this is so messed up? That she's been gone a year,
Almost a year.
a year, and I still walk over to that stupid cabinet when I'm just mindlessly bored. I just open it up, and now all that's in there is oats and lentils.
Nice
But
tubs of oats.
but the point I gotta because we have so much I gotta quit babbling. But the point is, if we can focus on our environment, it's so much less willpower, and it almost seems like, oh, don't bring junk food into the house. Again, it seems so stupid simple, but it's actually very freeing. And I used to look at it as this restriction thing. But if you could just say, like, I can eat anything that's in the house, it's so much more freeing. Okay, community and support is huge. I know for us, locally, we do a monthly meetup, and it's always good to see people, and that's what makes this 5 by 5 special, doing it as a group. We
Mhm.
always get better success when we go through this together because we're posting stuff and we know other people are suffering along with us. And then lastly, I'm terrible at this because I tend to be a perfectionist and a very type A personality, but progress is way more important than perfection. And sometimes if I can't do it, I throw my hands up and say, I'm done, and I'm just tapping out. And that is not the way to do it. So, with that said, see how fast that was? That was so
We
fast.
hit some
Okay, we can do that now because now
bits.
let's go. Whoops, don't save. I probably should have saved that. Okay, so anybody have any questions with that? Oh,
Chats right there.
lots of chats. Okay, so we get rid of this. Anybody before we start actually doing stuff? Nobody? Should I just keep going? Yeah? Okay. So let's talk about the program. We now have to put you guys back over here.
And
We
hi, Kat. I just saw her pop in.
Whoops. Okay, so I should have just stayed right on the screen. I'm going to share screen one. Okay. So, cool thing about this PDF. So when we first did this, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, we first did this. We put it out as a pilot. We just asked a couple of people to join. And so one of our good friends had a friend that was struggling, had no clue what plant-based was, and all he did was print this PDF and give it to the girl. Do you know what
Mhm.
I'm talking about?
Yes. Hmm.
And never heard a thing about it. And like 2 years later, we found out, like, she lost enough weight to be
Hmm.
a healthy weight. All her metabolic markers were like perfect, and she was whole food plant-based. And all she had was this manual. And I say that because it's just these 50 pages. really has everything that you need, I think. It's changed a lot, and there's part of me that doesn't even want to talk about how it changed. This program used to be a lot harder, and people would get to week 2 or 3 like and drop out. It was basically similar to Mary's Mini. It was super boring, but that's the way we wanted it. But through the years, people have had suggestions, and we've had a restaurant, so we kind of changed it up. But here, this is the idea. I'm not going to sit here and read all this to you. I'm going to actually skip all these and I'll come back to them. What I want to show you, wow, there's so much stuff. Okay, so what I want to show you is this. So I know this is super old school. I'm thinking, no. Okay, there we go. So this is super old school, but I think this is the easiest way to show you. Basically, this is your menu. Heather is a very visual person, so all this stuff really I made for her. And I should have mentioned in the beginning, I think it's at the bottom of every page. So obviously we are not medical professionals, nor do we play one on TV. Definitely before you change your diet, fitness, whatever, you should talk to your doctor. Don't listen to us. This is simply our experience and what works for us. So breakfast, you have 5 days. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to clear up some confusion. People think it's 5 by 5. And for some reason, we've had people go through this and they do 5 days, weekdays, and then they take two days off on the weekend. That's not what this is supposed to do. So you're going to do 5 rounds of 5, which gives you 25 consecutive days. Why 5? Well, it sounded good. No, I'm just kidding. So what we learned at the restaurant is our food had about a 5 day shelf life. It actually had about a 6 or 7 day shelf life. But we always said 5 was the safe. That's how we prepped all our food. So what we wanted to do is prep enough food that it would last, obviously without spoiling, and the number 5 came up, and it seemed that's what we based all this off of. So for breakfast, and I'll show you the recipes in a second, you can choose between overnight oats or sweet potatoes. Heather doesn't like oats. A lot of this is because
We each
so,
like different things.
yeah. And through the years, people have added stuff and taken stuff away. So breakfast, overnight oats, or sweet potatoes. We'll talk about swaps in a few minutes here. And then you pick one 5 by 5 entree, which I'll show you the menu and track in a minute. And then a 10 to 16 ounce. We used to do 1 pound of vegetables, but what we found works really well is the Aldi frozen steamable bags. They're just so stinking convenient. Some of the videos you'll find in the platform, I'm cooking these like giant, like 5 gallon pots of green beans, and we don't do that anymore. We go to Aldi, and it's the very reasonable,
Wherever you can get, yeah, wherever you can get them.
just a bag of frozen
Frozen.
veggies. Can you use fresh? Yes, absolutely. Like during the season, use fresh veggies, whatever. But we found the frozen vegetables work best. So you'd have one entree and then one veg, and then for dinner, a second entree and another veg. I've had a couple people ask me about the green salads. I think there's some people doing this that can't have greens because some medical stuff. Yeah, obviously you don't have to have the green salad. We would like you to get as many greens in as you can because we think they're very valuable and packed with nutrition. And then we call these desserts just to make us feel good. But the fruit servings, and we really, I'll talk a little bit about this later, but it really would be good to have the fruit as you progress on, to eat the fruit with a meal. And the idea between this is eat, then when you're done, stop eating until you eat again. I know myself, I get into this thing where I graze all day, and I really overeat because I'm just mindlessly eating because I'm grazing. So we feel that it works best. Sit down,
Fine.
eat a meal, have your piece of fruit, and then get away from the table and wait till you eat again. And then another thing that's on here we think is super important is 30 minutes of purposeful movement. This could look different for everyone. Some people run, some people walk, we've had people go through this that literally can't get out of a chair and they just move their arms for 30 minutes. But the goal is not to you look at your watch and get your steps in from walking to the copier machine or whatever. The goal is to actually set 30 minutes aside for yourself. I think a lot of reasons why we get to where we are is because we put everyone else's needs before ours. And I think this is a really good way to set aside 30 minutes to go do your thing, whether it's walking outside. I love being outside, and just like get rid of all the distractions and the noise and the phones and all that, and just go purposely move for 30 minutes. So basically, day one, you check all this off, boom, successful day. You do that 5 times, and then you repeat the process. Along with the food, there's also another one we call it food for thought. You don't certainly don't have to do this. We think it works well. Some people, for some people, I know myself included, the scale doesn't tell us the whole story, right? Because our body changes and our body composition changes. So the scale is not everything. So sometimes just taking a picture and you look back, a week and like, oh yeah, my face is getting slimmer. And this is just some things to talk, to talk to yourself about, about your relationship with food. What can you change? What can you fix? And we think it's important, you know. So that literally just repeats. Here's round two, and it repeats. These questions are a little bit different each time, but basically it's the same thing on repeat. And so now let's go back up to, oh, well, actually, I could tell you before we get there how I came up with all this. I'm kind of like a nerd with numbers, and again, I told you before, I never used to worry about calories, and I don't think that anyone should obsess counting calories, but I do know that a lot of times calories come from unknown places. They're like magic calories. Peanut butter has a lot of magic calories in it for me. So what I did is I kind of carved out this idea of, how to be in a calorie deficit. The problem is it's not one size fits all, right? What I needed for calories at 400, I think I was consuming between 7 and 10,000 calories a day when I was 400 plus pounds. So everyone's going to have fit into a different slot. So we try to make four to kind of simplify it. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but this is basically what it looks like. So let's do so track one. The goal here is to get around this 1,300 calories. So I've had some people ask, well, what if they're below the 130? I could tell you that if you're just doing that 30 minutes and you hit this 1,300 calories, unless your metabolism has a problem, you're probably going to lose weight. You're not going to lose weight really fast, but there might be a couple things that you might take out of here. I know Heather, she typically doesn't eat breakfast, and she does something called the fast track, which we'll talk about right at the end. So it just gives you a rough idea because I don't want to count calories all the time, but I want you guys to see where these numbers came from. The other thing, when we started this, I know we're not supposed to talk about this in the plant-based world, but protein. We had some people say, well, geez, there's not a whole lot of protein because it was literally potatoes and rice. So what I did is I purposefully set out to add more protein, especially for me, because I do better with more protein. I know we're supposed to be afraid of protein in the plant world, but I've been eating a lot more protein, and I can tell you again, that body composition thing I was talking about totally changed. I feel great. I feel fuller longer. I do way better eating more beans and tempeh and tofu than I just did eating potatoes and rice. That is just me. Heather is a little different. Her protein needs, I don't think, are as high as mine. Um, so you can see here, like for the track four. This is a lot of food, by the way. Like I'm a huge eater and I have trouble getting all this food down. But you're sitting at the 1,800 calorie mark and you got 76 grams of protein. And I think that's a great combo. But so that's I kind of reverse engineers. That's where we started. And then from there, I built these recipes out. So you would find, let's just say I'm 160 pounds. So I go to track two. So I'm colorblind. So Heather, what color is this track two?
Yellow.
Yeah, so we're the yellow track. So this is literally all it is. We tried to get something that everyone would like, which is hard. Some people don't like cilantro, some people tastes like soap, some people don't like spicy food. So we tried to get something for everyone. And I'm going to be honest with you. This recipe right here, the garden lentil, Heather and I could eat this every day for every meal for the rest of our life. So you don't have to have everything. It's just nice to have the option. So this is what it looks like. If you don't have an Instant Pot, that's okay too, but we base these off of the Instant Pot. So this is just 3 cups brown rice. You put this all in the Instant Pot. We try to make the recipe so stinking simple. So this, just dump all this in the Instant Pot, and then you just hold off on the black beans. It'll cook for 15 minutes at high pressure. When you release the pressure, pour the black beans in, and then what you're going to do, let it cool. And for this one, it's going to be 1.25 cups for each serving. So I'm going to set my 5 bins out that I'm going to fill, and each one is going to get 1.25 cups along with my bag of vegetables. Now, if you pre-cook your vegetables, you can fit them right in the container. Sometimes we do that, and it's a lot easier. And just so you know, if you go to track 1, okay, it's the same recipe. The only difference is, sorry, the only difference is you're going to only put 1 cup. And if you can guess, when you go down to the green track, it's going to be 2 cups. So what happens though is each one of the recipes will get downsized a little bit so you don't have all this extra food. That took forever to get the quantities right. So you have Fiesta Taco, cilantro lime. This is one of my favorites. Somebody wanted to bring back potatoes, so we did tofu scramble because I love tofu. And there's videos on all this. Red lentil curry, that's another one of our favorites, I think. And then, what's that?
Yours.
Mine, I guess it's my favorite. One of my favorites. I do like the garden lentil. And then the breakfast for the overnight oats, again, you make these 5 at a time. I used to make them in a big like pot, but what we found is if you get 12-ounce or 16-ounce containers, you literally can just mix this. It's so easy. Take 2/3 cup, up, 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 then put your cup of berries, and then put 2/3 cup of plant milk. Some people put a scoop of flaxseed if you're trying to get your omega 3s in there, and then just leave it sit, and it's perfect.
In
And
the fridge.
in the fridge, obviously. And then if you want to do the baked potatoes, I know Heather just did a batch of these 2 days ago. You just throw your sweet potatoes in, 1 medium sweet potato for each of the days. So 5, cut them in half, pop them in the oven for 35 minutes. And that's it. Like your breakfast is done. So the goal when you're done is to have breakfast and then 2 containers. One is lunch and one is dinner. And then you can make your salad along the way. Can I stop and ask if you guys have questions on that?
Tim, I have a question.
Yes,
On the oatmeal, the overnight oats,
sure.
if you could just scroll back up to the track 1 on that for me, please.
That's track 2.
So-
It doesn't really matter.
It don't matter, yeah, track 1,
Okay.
whatever. So 2/3 cup of rolled oats, 1 cup of berries, 2/3 cup of plant milk. That's just for 1 jar, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. You could put that in a pint jar too
Okay.
and do them that way.
all right, sounds good, thank you.
And the way we used to make them is in bulk. Like I used to measure, I don't know what that comes out to. I guess it'll be
Right,
2.5 cups of oats, 2.5, and then kind of, but it just like the more we get more and more lazy as we do this, so we're like just bam, 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 bam. And you know what? Sitting over the fridge, it all evaporates into everything anyway. So it's all, and you just give it a stir before you eat it.
yeah. Do you eat that cold, or do people just heat it up, or?
Both ways.
Both, yeah. I like it cold because I usually take it to work, and I
Okay.
actually do put it in the glass pint jars.
Yeah.
And I just take it to work. And actually, sometimes this works really well too. If you're working, I'll take on Monday, if I can time it right, I'll take my meal preps in for lunch. I take them all in at once and put them in the fridge.
Yeah,
And then I don't even have to think about it. But it's so nice when we're both doing it. It actually looks pretty cool. We should take some pictures. I think we have pictures somewhere. When we open the fridge and there's like nothing in the fridge except the crisper drawers full of like salad stuff. And then
The containers.
we have 20 containers stacked up in the fridge and then 10 breakfasts. It's like this is the way. And I tell Heather every time we are going to have a good week this week. That's just how it works.
Nice, thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
So for the breakfast, it's either the oats that you have the milk and the berries with, or the sweet potato. I don't get to get berries with the sweet potato, or
I mean, you
Or you
could,
could have
and
your
yeah, you
fruit.
could even use them for a fruit.
You could use
I,
that for
there,
your
you know
fruit.
what, BJ,
Your
there's
fruits.
so few calories in berries
Yeah.
that I don't think they'd affect you at all.
all right, then the other question is I made, technically I made 4 of your recipes so far on yesterday. I'm gonna force David to do it too. And so, um, but when I made them, I took the recipe and I just divided it up into 5 containers. It seemed to be more than a cup for me. I did the track one.
Yeah, okay, so
They're
we had so many problems with this. We had so many people like we were doing test and test and test. And what we found is different rice absorbs differently, and the what we didn't want to do is short people. So we had to make sure that there was at least 5 cups. And I believe track one was the hardest to come up with.
Okay.
It seemed like no matter what we did, there was always some
There's
extra.
always some extra, yeah.
So if you're really like, if you're doing this to lose weight, some people are not. Like, to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to be like laser focused this round on losing weight. Like, I want to be consistent. But if you really are looking for the way, you should measure it right out then. And if you really want to get crazy, you could measure the grams, but I don't think we need to go that far. Although somebody kept asking what a medium potato is, so I ended up putting how many grams a medium potato was.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
because my potatoes were huge.
it's hard because when I say medium, well, even in the membership group, what is a medium onion? Like, I don't know. I never just
Right.
like not big and not small. It's like right in between. I don't know. But okay, so then this is something you can hang on your fridge. I forget who I did this for. I think someone asked for this. And so Heather likes the very visual ones, like marking off the stars, which is fun. But you, instead of using those sheets that I showed you in the beginning, once you understand them, this is kind of cool to just pop on the fridge because it has all 25 days and you're good to go. It's a little more streamlined instead of, if you look at our fridge, Heather has like 10 papers magnet on the front and they always hit my shoulder. And so this is the way we condensed everything. The shopping list is super cool. Oh, we're doing good. The shopping list will help you. We talk a little bit about condiments. Make sure if you're putting, say, ketchup on your potatoes, that you're not having potatoes with your ketchup. Um, Ketchup is basically all sugar. And so we don't want to say make your food disgustingly gross, but try to focus more on spices. And definitely if you're using condiments, make sure they're like fat free. So things like salsa are really good even on, and I have a whole bunch of dressings I can show you in a second, but these are just some ideas. Steak sauce, taco sauce, we buy. Actually, you've been going in phases with the taco sauce.
Stop that for a little bit.
Yeah. Taco sauce is really nice because it is low calorie and it's pretty. You can get some pretty clean taco sauce.
But you
Okay.
do have to, I mean, you do have to look,
You do because
different
sometimes
checks.
they won't have oil in them.
And then the next time you
Yeah.
might go and buy it, they might put it in there. So it just, I don't know why, but they seem to go back and forth with it.
So if you go into this shopping list is enough for 5 days. And yeah, so I think I had this split up. Yes. So this is all the stuff that you would need that you can go through. And yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and read all that. What happens is anytime someone comes up with a question more than once, I usually put it in FAQs. I know we have a couple people that emailed me that they're either going away. One person was on a cruise. One person couldn't start right away because they were on vacation. You can start this anytime. We've had people in here for 4 years, I think. And it's a lot easier June 1st because everyone's doing it with you. But we have people come back and do like a reboot all the time. It really, you could live like this the rest of your life. What can I add? What about coffee or tea? You can talk to Heather about that one.
You can have coffee.
You know, the idea is like I feel like if we get so militant about stuff, it's a great way to come up with an excuse to not do anything. So if I say, well, you shouldn't have coffee. Well, I drink coffee. First of all, I'd be a hypocrite because I drink 2 cups of coffee every single day of my life. I love coffee, probably because yeah. Heather drinks 2 pots of coffee. No,
No,
she's
I just not 2 pots.
but Heather drinks coffee too. But the bottom line is like if you say, well, if that's gonna make or break it, like just do it. You know, just have the coffee and just know that you should have water too. Water is good.
Yes, lots of
Uh,
water.
so we had people that were going to weddings or whatever. They didn't know if they'd be able to. So it life happens. I get it. I would try your best not to, but if you 100% can't avoid it and you miss a day, get right back in it. A lot of people have questions about swaps, about swapping lentils for I think we don't need to overthink this, right? That's what I think. Okay, this is a big one though. What if I can't finish my food? It's okay. Just eat. You don't have to eat until you're stuffed. Eat until you're satiated and then move on. It's okay if you don't eat all your food. I know I was raised, this is probably how I got to be 400 pounds. I can blame my mom. I was raised if you didn't finish your food, that meant your dad worked super hard and you disrespected him or you didn't like your mother's cooking. Like that's gone. Like that was when I was a kid, and it's okay. Like it's okay to not finish your food. If you're still hungry, we've had some people with very big appetites, bigger than mine was. And if that's the case, if you're still hungry, grab an extra bag of veggies or an extra fruit. And I know, like, it sounds weird because if you're used to McDougal, he doesn't limit the starch. I know from my experience, the more vegetables I eat, the better, rather than starches. And certain starches affect me differently. I can sit down, no matter what anyone says, I literally can sit down and eat 6 cups of rice. Potatoes, not so much. I just don't feel good when I eat potatoes. Okay, what is a serving of fruit? This comes up all the time. Like just you know, a banana, an apple, if it's just a serving. It's okay. If you eat 3 extra grapes, it's okay. What if I get bored? You will. I don't know if you'll get bored anymore.
Now that
Oh,
we've got the extra.
yeah. Oh, actually, I never showed him
recipes.
that. I never showed him that. I shouldn't be going through all these because they can read them. But why is my weight fluctuating? This happens a lot, especially if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber. When you eat fiber, that fiber is going to come along with a lot of water. So when you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, they're heavy and you're going to get a lot of water weight. And so people like freak out because day 3, they're up 4 pounds. The scale is not your friend most of the time, and most of the time that will level off so fast. And I've never had anyone say they gained weight. We've had a couple people say they had a net zero, but I've never had anyone gain weight. Brown rice, this comes up a lot, and I'm going to be honest with you. Through the thing, you might see us posting food, and we love basmati. I don't do basmati in the Instant Pot because for me, if I'm going really fast on meal prep, what I'll do is I'll boil my basmati, it's a white rice, almost like pasta, and then I can rinse it with cold water. Where if I do everything in the Instant Pot like that, I can't do that. I gotta let it cool. So if I'm in a super big hurry, I will have white rice. I'll plunge it in cold water and then add all my other stuff with it and then pack it away. I enjoy white rice, probably more than brown, but I also know that in the Instant Pot, brown rice is the easiest one for me to make. No, it's not winter time anymore, but a lot of times we go through the winter. People want to make soup. I have recipes in here that you can make your soup. Can you borrow one fruit from? Yes, absolutely. In fact, Heather does this a lot. She misses breakfast, and then she might have her sweet potato at night. Okay,
Switch banana
yeah.
with the sweet potato.
Swap
Yeah.
it out. Yeah. So Here, a lot of people don't know how to make a good salad. BJ, I know you are the salad queen,
Yes.
but a lot of people do not know how to make a salad. So what we did is we just like first get a bowl and start with here's a whole bunch of greens to choose from. Obviously, you can choose any green you want. Then you can add as much as you want, beet, celery, carrot, all this stuff. Then top it off. You could chop it like we like chopped salad. We prefer that. So we cook like rabbits. Chop it all up and top it off with, fresh pico, salsa, taco sauce, all this stuff. And don't forget, there's Aldi has really good. I eat these a lot. I know Heather doesn't like them, but the no oil artichokes. There's all different flavors. Mustard, if you're into that. I love jalapenos. And then I made you guys a salad guide down here. These are just some dressings I was messing with, just because people were complaining they didn't have any dressings. So we put this together. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are, but they all get the job done. Probably everyone's favorite is the 3-2-1 and pizza
And
dressing.
depends what you like too. So
Yes. But okay, so I should go back because I forgot to tell you guys something. With all those nice recipes, sorry, people are gonna get car sick here. Okay, so that is the new 5x5. We're gonna reverse to the original, the OG 5x5. I think this was the best, but like I say, it's harder to stick with. This is how the OG 5x5 started. And we had so many people have massive success this way, just like the other way. We would literally 15 potatoes, put them in all boiling water. We just boiled the potatoes down, or you could bake them, and then back to basics rice. So I left these in here. If you want to, it's literally your bin's going to have potatoes and vegetables, or your bin's going to have rice and vegetables. That's it. Um, it's great for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then you look at your food and you're like, oh my gosh, do I have to do this? So what we've had some people do is like a hybrid. They'll start off with these, do one round. They'll have maybe their potatoes for breakfast and the rice for dinner. And they do a round like that and they're like, okay, I did it. That's cool. And then they go into the other, the lentils and the curry. That's totally up to you. We put them back in there because people actually asked, the OGs asked for it back. So we added those two recipes. Okay. Any questions about the food itself?
Tim, how do you feel about frozen rice, frozen brown rice?
Yeah, I mean, we've done that before. Is it store-bought or you freeze your own?
No, store bought,
Yeah, I mean, if it's
just brown
clean,
rice, yeah.
we have trouble finding it without oil in it.
Uh-huh, okay,
I
yeah,
don't know.
I got it without oil.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works. What the idea is to make this as easy as possible, and if that makes it easy, do it.
Okay,
Anybody else?
I just had a quick question. Did you update the 5x5 guide to include the original potatoes and sweet potatoes?
Yeah, it's
Or
right. It's at the end. We added it.
okay. Because
Yeah,
I
it's
think I
called.
have both of them, but I don't have them all in one spot.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I'll show you. I'm going to get to the platform. We're actually doing really good on time. So I'm going to take you to the platform and where you could find the whole thing. And then I have it pieced. You probably have one of the pieces.
I think I have that. Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
pieces.
And I'll show you where all that is in a second here.
Okay.
But yeah, they're at the end. We just kind of tacked them on because I forget who was complaining. They wanted the OG. So that's what we did. Any other questions about the food? Okay, is that okay. I might as well talk about this since this is Heather's little it reminds me of like Batman Pow. She likes this on the fridge. She can put a big slash through each one of these and get to the day 25. So I left that in there if you would choose that.
but I probably won't use that now. I'll use the other one.
Yeah, the other one is more compact.
So I make sure I did everything.
Okay, so this looks fancy. This is basically kind of implement. I don't like calling it intermittent fasting because it's actually just a feeding window because you're not like fasting. But One of the things that we do if we hit a plateau, or if you're under that 130 and you need to find another way to be calorie deficient, is we eat later. Okay, so we finish, and to be honest with you, this has nothing to do with the 5x5, but over the past 2 months, when do we stop eating after 6?
Probably
2 months,
about 2 months.
maybe a little bit more. I stopped eating because what this is what I wrote, and the guys, this is just this is me being distracted as always. What happened to me is like I'm like, man, I cannot. I feel like I'm doing so well, but like I can't shed any weight. And what I started realizing is I started watching TV, which I haven't watched TV in forever, forever. But somebody got me into watching TV again. And we had the most dreary gray winter in Buffalo, like that you can imagine. It was awful. Like it was always dark, always gray. We couldn't get outside.
Plus, we kept getting
We kept getting sick. Like we were sick like for months.
totally.
So what happened was, I'm like, man, I would get done eating. Literally 5, 6 o'clock, I'm done eating. I would go to the couch, we turn on the TV, and by 7 o'clock, I'm like, I got to get something to eat. There's no way I'm hungry. I just finished eating an hour ago. And so it was this connection, like when I sit down, I need to eat something. And so I tried like, well, let me cut up cucumbers, but then I'm like, well, I'm not eating because I'm hungry. This is just stupid. So what I said is, okay, when I finish dinner, 6 o'clock, a buzzer goes off. I do not eat anymore. And here's what happened. Again, nothing to do with the 5x5, although you could incorporate this. What happens is I wake up in the morning and I'm not hungry. This is so wild. If I eat a lot before I go to bed, I wake up hungry. I have no idea why. My stomach felt so full at night and it was harder for me to sleep. I just feel so much better when I stop eating at 6. I have a much better day the next day. So the fast track kind of incorporates that. It's giving you a window from the time you stop eating. And like for me, I would eat this first meal at like 11 o'clock because that's when I get a break at work. And then I'd come home and eat at 5 or 6 the second meal. So really what this is doing is you're eliminating your breakfast. And what we've found from certain people, even if you add your breakfast into these meals, you still have a little more success because I feel like you're not eating all day. Does that make sense?
And on this also, you can take the desserts. If you stop eating after 6, you can take the dessert and use that actually for your
Or your
breakfast.
breakfast, yeah. So
Or one for breakfast, then one maybe halfway during the day.
yeah,
Just mix it up
yeah.
a little bit.
I forget why exactly we did that. And then no, 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 no. Okay. So there's that. Any questions about that? Okay, let's go to this is important. So this is the platform. I call this Kartra. I don't even know if you guys know this is Kartra, but this is the platform that we use. Um, I added a few things today. I'm very sorry about the email, you guys, the whole thing. And I think someone called me out on it. I forgot who. And I'm like, no, these are the right dates. I had Monday and they're Tuesdays, okay? So every Tuesday for the next 5 weeks we'll be meeting. And I'm gonna upload these. I'll show you where they're gonna go in a second. So here's the schedule. This stuff I think is the most important. This is the manual right here. So if you click on this, this I believe, does this have, let me just double check and make sure it has the OG stuff. Tofu. Yes. Okay. So whoever asked, this is the whole manual, just what I just showed you, because the back to the basics are right here. Okay. So I'm going to go back here. That's the manual. And then here's the checkoff list. All this stuff, you just click download and that's yours. This is the 25-day. Oh, yeah. I basically pieced everything up. Then this is the recipes themselves. So you don't have to go through 40 or 50 pages of garbage. You just pick your track, this will download and it'll go right to, you'll have everything you need. You can take the whole manual. I just thought it was easier to split it up for people. So these are the main things. Then, before I go, these go kind of in order. If you go up at the top here in the menu, this live coaching replay. I just added this today, and this is what it's going to look like. Every time we record one of these, I'll put it in here. So at the end, there'll be 5 video calls. So if you miss one, it's going to end up right here. Hopefully by 9 o'clock, I will have one uploaded here for you. So let's go back home. Now, getting started. If you hover over the chapter, there's all subcategories here. So start here. I forgot what some of this stuff is, but yeah. So then the printables, we already went over that, but I do a video basically walking you through what I just did now, so you probably don't need that. What to expect. This is embarrassing. The first thing people said is, man, I got a lot of gas. Is that normal? So when people would say that, I would do a video on it, kind of explain, you know, how to alleviate some of it. Shopping, I talk about the importance of shopping here. And again, with every one of these, you'll have your shopping list separately. So you don't have to print that whole manual. Just print the shopping list out if that's what you want. And then there's some like little extra stuff, but like calorie density. And then meal prep. For some reason, this is people's favorite. They say this helps them so much. The cooking demos, I take you right in the kitchen. And actually, someone caught one of these that was wrong, so thank you for that. But basically, I take you right in the kitchen. I show you exactly how I do this thing, and I'd walk you right through it. So that's fun. I don't know. Do I have the original one? I don't. Yeah. So there's that. Here I do a video on salads, just, you know, again, how to fancy them up. This is interesting. This is a really cool video. So I don't know if you guys can see clearly, but there's like sushi, these amazing different foods. We had someone go through the program that was a culinary genius. Our food looks so gross, and this dude's coming out with all this crazy stuff. So this is a great way to make your food fancy if you get bored. And I forget what exactly is in here. I think I have the recipes for all this, if I remember it. Let me just see real quick. I think Nick shared these recipes with us. So let's see. Did it open? No. No. There it is. Yeah, so Nick shared some of the things he did with this plain and simple food. And so you can get this fancy if that's what you want to do. You know, see what he's doing is using his rice and vegetables. Obviously, you could just make peppers and rice, but he kind of jazzed it up a little bit. So that's in there if you want that. And then soup. I talk about how to make soup out of some of these meals. This might be worth watching, even if you don't want to do it for the 5x5. I feel like liquid aminos, mushrooms, and nooch makes a great stock, if you will, for soup. Tracking your progress. Why is it important to track? How much is too much? This is something that came up all the time. You don't have to eat until you're stuffed. It's pretty, yeah. Teamwork, I talk about that. So these, I don't want to just go through all these, but yeah. So all these things, and then if you're new to plant-based, this course I did for Udemy, and I think it's in like, I forget how many different countries, but it took right off. But it's just a very 13-day plant-based
15
15
days.
day, but there's only 14 days there. It's a plant-based course, and I don't know. I think
Maybe,
it's
maybe there's an intro.
yeah, I think it's pretty good. So wait, was I not sharing? No, I was. That would be awful. All right, is my screen off now? Someone?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. That was a lot, and I want it to be done in an hour so we could do questions. I know that was so much. I'm so sorry. Questions. Come on, I didn't do that good. Give me questions.
I have a question with the, where you talked about the salad with salsa on it.
Yeah.
Do you have to use that? I use Bragg's oil-free vinaigrette.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's just what we do.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I might try it because I've never tried it with salsa. It might be good.
Yeah, it's kind, I always feel like it's cheating because you get the salsa, the spices, like everything's in there, and it's like it
Yeah.
saves so many steps. But I mean, some people don't like it. I don't know why we like it so much. It's just good.
That's
Easy.
all right. I
Think-
might try it.
Yes, Lauren.
Some, if you go, like if you do have to go out to a restaurant, or you're with family, friends, whatever, I have found that a lot of times the dressings, I don't like their dressings, so I will ask if if I could just get a side of salsa instead of the dressings that they give you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, vinegar or lemon juice is a good one too. Yeah. Mezzaluna knife. Yeah, Lauren, Mezzaluna knife. We stole that from a restaurant here. It's so good. We have a place here called Pai O Mai
Mhm.
and Greens. And it's like this giant, like they put so much greens into these salads. You wonder like how are they gonna fit that in that little thing? But after they roll the Mezzaluna knife through it, it's so nice. And it's a meal too. It's so good. Are we going to introduce maybe? Oh yeah, we could do that.
Go ahead.
Does anyone have questions? That's a good idea.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so if I don't have an Instant Pot, this sounds silly, but would I just like figure out how to cook it basically in a regular pot on the stove?
Yeah, so I believe let me move you over here real quick. Let me just check real quick. I think I make a note of that. I believe it's 40 minutes. You can do the same thing in a pot on the stove, and I think it was 40 minutes. I can't find them now. Oh, it's not in there. I thought I put it in there. I put it in there for
Wait,
someone.
is it cook? Is this it right here? The basics of the
Yeah.
rice one.
Yeah, so okay, so basically what you're gonna and you might have to add a little bit of water. I apologize. I should have that. The problem is this thing got so far away from us, we started reducing everything because it was so much information. But if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can do the same thing with like a Dutch oven. I don't know how many quarts that is, but put it on the stove. You might want to add a little bit of water. Definitely cover it, bring it up to a boil, and just simmer it. And I'll tell you, it will take at least a half an hour. But the truth is, like sometimes the Instant Pot isn't fair all the way because we say, cook at high pressure for 15 minutes. Well, sometimes it takes like 15 minutes to get up to pressure, and then by the time, so I'm not saying that the Instant Pot isn't faster and more convenient, but you can do the same thing on the stove. And don't forget, you're only doing this once every 5 days, so it's really not a big deal.
Mhm. So if you have it like that and you choose to have rice and vegetables for your other two meals, can you throw all the vegetables in with the rice at the same time?
Absolutely, I do that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a stir fry. That because yeah, literally stir fry. And too, I think I put in there too, like feel free to add like onions and mushrooms to stuff because I love onions and mushrooms. And I'll do the same thing. If I'm having broccoli and rice, I'll totally throw some onion and mushroom and mix it all together. I
I
could
have
eat
a
that every day.
question. I
Yeah,
have a question. If you're going through and either you run out of food or someone in your home, my spouse might maybe help himself to something there and then it won't be there. Can you just switch to like a basic meal, like a spuds
sure.
or a rice meal, and just that you can just do that anytime
Yeah.
and that doesn't throw it off? Okay,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
thank you.
There's honestly there's no trick to this other than I just figured out the calories and then moved it backwards. That's literally all this is. But it's just being prepared.
I had one more question too. It's not the
Sure.
same, but when you did like the different tracks, I'm right on the cusp between track one and track two. So I was gonna just choose track one because I'm still a relatively small person
Sure.
and I don't think that, if I ate at the higher weight, I might not have as much success. Is that a good
Yeah, if
way to
you're
look at it?
close. Yeah, if you're close. We've had some confusion, like people would pick a track that they want to be, and that's you're already set. I forget the numbers exactly. I almost think I did a 20 or an 18% reduction. But again, it's hard because it's a range. So I like hit the middle. Like I had a whole spreadsheet that was numbers everywhere. But so it's like if let's say if you're on the 130 track, if I recall, that's already in the middle is an 18% reduction, which we don't need to know all that. But yes, what I would say is I never have anyone say I shouldn't say never. 99% of the time, most people say that they have too much food.
Okay,
So if you do the one and you're like starving, just bump up a little bit. But I don't think you will be. It's actually a lot of food.
thank you.
New message. Yeah. Most people find they can't eat all the food. But again, that's, like I'm going to be training really hard, so I probably will for sure. You supposed to should I steer clear of no, yeah. Okay. Any more questions?
I just wanted to mention real quick, because this is not new to me, so I've been whole food plant-based for about 8 years, not like 100% like I should be at times. But like you were talking about the plant-based stuff, like the tempeh and the edamame and stuff like that. I find when I eat that stuff, I tend to put on more weight.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. In the nuts and the seeds too. So
Yeah, nuts and seeds kill me.
yeah.
They kill me.
So-
And they're so
so-
good.
Now, because I noticed I was gaining a ton of weight and I'm like, Jesus criminy. So I'm like, you know what? It's time to maybe eliminate those things, go back to the basics of what I was doing prior to eating those things, which was
Yeah.
I tend to do like a more of a 50-50 situation. So half starch or half vegetables, but I like your plan. I like the setup a little better, I think. So
Yeah, and I think I'm changing my view a little bit, like, because I know the abstinence thing, like, but
yeah.
I hate telling myself that I will never have another cashew again because I'm lying to myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat cashews. I'm going to eat cashews.
Yeah.
And this fight in my head, like I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be until I'm not. And then once I'm not, instead of eating a handful of cashews, I'll pound down a pound of them, like literally. And I think sometimes we set ourselves up. And this took me a long time to get to the point where, you know what, I'm gonna be really good. And even if you do the 25 days, you know what, I can sit down, have a palm full of cashews, because I think once we make them off limits, that's like all we think about. And for the rest of my life, I can't have a cashew. Come on, that's ridiculous for me.
Yeah.
And I know, like, if you talk to Chef AJ, she's all about never eat it again. And if that works for you, perfect. But it doesn't work for me. I'm just being honest.
It won't work for me, but the whole reason I started all of this was I had a lot of autoimmune stuff going on. All my inflammatory markers were through the roof. My ANA, which is an anti-nuclear antibodies, some marker for like lupus or all those fancy autoimmune stuff, which they didn't find lupus, but they found like rheumatoid arthritis. I find when I changed and got rid of the meat and the dairy and all that stuff, all that joint pain disappeared. My numbers started to come down. So everything's back to normal except for my ANA. I mean, it's down, but it's still elevated and they can't seem to give me any answers. So I'll just keep plugging away,
Sure.
Yeah.
BJ, did you deal with some of that stuff?
With the polymyalgia, or you mean?
Yeah. Was that autoimmune?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with polymyalgia January 14th of 2024. I woke up complete pain. Just came out of the blue. But I did, a raw vegan diet for for 6 months, but I ended up going on the prednisone for some months, but
Yeah,
I'm clear, I'm free. So
good.
yeah.
Anybody else got a story to share? Wait, what did Lauren say? I forgot what she said about introducing people. If anyone wants, I don't want to like make people.
We can also do it on the Facebook group.
What?
We can also like put it on the Facebook group, like where everybody's from or something, or
Yeah. So I did this for the social aspect, and I miss seeing you guys every week. So I'm like, okay, if I got to pay to see them every week, then I
Oh.
guess I'll do that. So, not only that, I mean, I was part of the test group and did not succeed, because I didn't, I didn't stick to it. So I've been not great with sticking to the whole food plant-based lifestyle. There have been years that I've been better at it. This has not been the greatest, so I'm looking to jumpstart back into it. I was looking forward to the Zoom call because I have a very isolating work from home job, and the fact that there was other people that were here, and like I was looking forward to hearing like at least a little intro on everybody if they wanted to share. But I wanted to mention when you were talking about the 30 minutes of movement, just in case it helps anybody. October of 2022, you started a 30 minutes a day, move your body for 30 minutes a day. Cause I've been following these guys for a while. So it's October of 2022. And you said, we're going to start a 30-day movement challenge, move your body for 30 minutes every day. And so I got one of these little calendars where you color in the days. And I started back in October of 22. I'm on my, fourth calendar that I'm still ticking away the days. So consistency with exercise for me was always a big barrier, because I always told myself like I'm never going to be consistent with anything, and so I picked, okay, 30 minutes a day, I can do that. And I haven't done it every single day by any means, but I've been consistent with at least 4 days a week since October of 2022. So I think
Wow, that's a good run.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
Super.
yeah, so I'm happy to be here.
what kind of calendar is it? I would like to see this kind of calendar.
Oh, I'll post it for you on the group, but I can grab it real quick.
Okay.
I'm having trouble getting logged into the Kartra.
Oh, I was going to talk about that.
I'm having a challenge.
Is it an app?
I just assumed it's operator error.
So are you having trouble logging in?
Yeah, it had a weird password, and I tried using that to log in, and then I tried to reset my password, and it's not sending me the email to go through the process to reset.
Okay. So this is,
It looks kind of like this. Oh, hold on. I got to turn the background on. I'll post it in the Facebook group. I'll post it for you so you can see it.
I don't know.
Oh, wait. Okay. Anybody else? Actually, someone else go while I'm doing this because I'm a little distracted.
Yeah,
What was
so
the question?
I had the issue too, Tim, in the beginning, but you had sent me a different password, and then I was able to get in.
So Kartra is really crazy, like, which is good for privacy. So most of what you guys go through, I don't get to see. They did change it that I can actually make a password and send it to you.
Okay.
But I'm gonna just super quick try to,
Nope.
as long as Melissa is on right now.
Yep.
Okay.
I can give you my email account. It's really easy.
No, I got it right here. So it looks
Okay.
like you access it because you're like you're a trooper. You're like 40% through the whole course already. Okay. I think you should get an email.
Okay. Let me go to my.
It might have
there
went
it
in
is.
your promo.
There it is. All right.
You want to try to log on now to see if we can do it?
Yes. Let me see if it works.
And did
So is
anybody else? Sorry, go ahead.
Is the password that is in the chat now, is that
No, it's
that
not in the
something-
chat. It should be in your email.
Oh, in the email, I click the link to go to reset the password, but there's a little password in the, so it's got my Gmail account and then the
Yeah,
a
it's some
password.
weird. I think I've used some funky password.
Okay, got me in.
And then,
And you can change your,
yeah, so
Yeah.
I should have
Yeah.
showed you guys that. You can actually go up to the top by your profile,
Okay,
by the little guy, and you can just change
Oh.
password.
perfect. I'm there.
One, I didn't even know, there's a security question. First person you kissed. Aw.
Is that my
Wasn't you.
security question?
No, that's mine. I can't see any
Oh.
of yours.
Did you hear me, BJ?
Oh my God.
I said it wasn't you, Tim.
Well,
I
my
didn't
husband's name is Tim as well.
Oh,
So
aw.
Okay, so you're in, right?
I'm in. I
Anybody
just
else
have to-
having login issues?
Or does anybody else want to share anything that their journey?
I just want to say that I've done many, 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 many plant-based programs in the past 13 years of being plant-based. And this one, I tell you, is the most, I'm not just saying this because I love you guys. It's the most incredible, well thought out program.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
I
just-
appreciate that.
Thank you.
I really
It's-
love the simplicity of it. That is what I have found
Mhm.
to be the most helpful. Just opening the fridge and seeing all my meals prepared. Because my husband does not eat the way we eat at all. He thinks keto is the way to go. And so,
My house too.
yeah.
My
And
house
so, and
too.
he's got type 2 diabetes. He's got all the lifestyle medications in his closet in there in his bathroom. And so, but for me, and I love cooking, so I don't mind preparing 2 meals. But knowing that my food is just all ready has been such a game changer. It's just, I open there's no questions. What am I going to have?
Sure.
It's already there. And it's so simple. And it's taken me a long time going through perimenopause and then menopause to kind of get it dialed in. But I'm finally, my weight is coming off slowly, 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 but it's working.
Good. Good for you.
Good to hear.
So BJ, it's funny you say that because literally, I hope it's no one in the group. Someone emailed me and they said, I've been on this program, and I'm like, well, this program is not going to be any different. Like, like that it's not, it's just basically the system because of the information's already out there. Like we kind of already know what the information is. And so I like literally talked this person out of buying it because it's like another program's not going to help. But to me, like doing it this way with the support, I think is fun because a lot of people will just be they're like renegades in there. Like they'll do, hey, I'm starting a 5x5 whatever day, and it's like I feel bad because it's like crickets in there. So we'll make some noise in the group, and it's hard. To be honest with you, like I am really having trouble dealing with social media. I'm trying to get back to it. I don't know. I don't know. I just have trouble. And to be honest with you, like this goes way above the scope of this call, but there's days like most days I feel pretty irrelevant. Like I'm old, my story's been out there, it's cool, whatever. But let some of these young kids do the thing now.
Yeah, but
So
people like to rehear your story because I know my husband cries every time he hears your story. He's like,
I'm not even kidding,
David.
Tim. I've read your book twice, once in the hardcover and once on my Kindle, just because of the motivation there.
oh, I appreciate it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we're
Well,
gonna
I've
be
heard you- I haven't read your book yet, but I do love your cookbook. But your story to me is so motivational. And even for, I've never been 400 pounds. I can't imagine what that struggle was like. But just seeing you turn that around and you and Heather work as a team, it's just amazing.
yeah, I'll be lost.
I really appreciate both you guys.
I mean, Heather's
appreciate
story
it.
is amazing too, because even the fact that, she just started to do it because her husband was doing it and
Yeah.
look at her results. Her results are, she went from not running to running and
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
but that's, that I think that's the thing. The longer you do this, you realize like even that's changed. Like your attitude for running is nothing like it was in the beginning, is it?
No, no, no. I had I had
Nobody likes
very competitive in the beginning, really competitive. And I don't know, I think like this past winter really kind of I had to like slow right down. It stopped me. And thought I had a stress fracture and then we kept getting sick and I was just had to get to the point where I got to find something else that I need to do, cuz I hate the treadmill. I can't just be on that all the time because that would make me a little crazy.
Yeah.
So I did pick up going to a spin class, and then now that it's getting better, nicer out and everything, I'm able to run. And now I've just kind of I'm just gonna pick what I want to do,
Yeah.
what I want to do. I don't have to be stressed that I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, so I can just find what I like to do. And if I want to run this race or that race, just I don't need to have that pressure. I just need to do some type of movement every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy. Well, I think BJ can attest to this. It's easy to get caught up into that cyclone of always better, always better. And like when it doesn't end. And so like you just gotta like for me, it's all about just enjoying. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I just got off a hard bike ride. Like I pushed hard, like really hard. But I have a different attitude. I just enjoy being out there. I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I want to. And I think that's changed for both of us too. So
Mhm.
yeah.
What I can say for me, I know I got lost in the FOMO of running. Everyone's doing certain races. I got to do that race, and now I got to train for that race, and I have to do this. Yeah, I had to find out why I really liked running and get back to that.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
pace too. I remember being afraid to post. Now I don't like I'll post my 13-minute miles all day. Like I don't care anymore. Um it's because just being out there, just being out there. That's the gift,
Find what you like and you do it then.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited about this. There's a ton of people hopped on. So hopefully we can make some. That's where I was going with the Facebook. I'm gonna do my best to be in that 5x5
Then we
group
can pick off.
a lot.
I think I said I would.
Got a
If I
question
can't
about
answer, then
that.
I'll pass it off to Tim.
Yeah.
Question about the social part on, because Tim, you mentioned like, on the Facebook group, sometimes there's crickets and whatnot. And you like the Kartra platform. Does this platform have a social aspect you can use that would take people off of social media?
No, and I wish it did.
Oh,
And
okay.
we spent so many years switching from Podia to this, and now I heard Kajabi has a community, and like I don't have it in me to switch anymore. That took years. It's awful. I
I
wish
was
it
just
did.
curious because I know you said you didn't really want to be on Facebook, and if this one had like a social aspect, then you could just say,
Yeah.
"Hey, we're not there. We're over here. Come
But
find
this
us here."
But this is nice, so by having this specific group, it's, specifically
Yeah.
for the 5x5, so you can, we can all be in this together then. You
And
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah. And
Mhm.
I'm getting back. I actually posted some reels. We have someone helping us with this that's going to be shut down soon for
Mhm.
the summer, but we have someone helping us with social post. And I feel kind of left out because like he's the only one posting and it looks awful. So I'm really like I started recording food. And by the way, some of these posts are like the food, like if you see tempeh or something and I'm doing the 5x5, I probably shot that like a month ago, just so you know. So don't call me out on it. But yeah, Lauren, I'm trying to get back into it. I don't know. I just needed a break. We needed a break from the lives, and like 2 weeks turned into a month, and then we got to get going again.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Okay, I know where to find you. It's fine.
Excuse me.
I found you guys
Yes.
anyway. Tracked you down. It's all good.
And you can
Plus,
message
I
us
really
anytime.
think you're true. And I really want to see, I know everybody has different goals for this, but I want to nudge my weight in the right direction. Like I've
Yeah.
got the activity stuff down pat. Like I'm healthy, I'm fortunate, I'm grateful. I'm not, I don't need to lose the weight because I'm like, I mean, I want to I'm a slow runner. I want to get the weight off of my knees. I would like to see what that would feel like if I was, a lighter runner. I mean, I've been at this weight pretty much my entire adult life, plus or minus 10 pounds. So I've never been like, I was bigger and then I got thinner and then I yo-yoed. I've yo-yoed, but it's been within 15 pounds like my entire adult life. So I
Sure.
would like to lose 50 pounds and see what that feels like. So I thought this would be like a good way to get back into the plant-based stuff, because I really do feel better when I eat plant-based, and I'm not plant-based right now. So, but I remember what that felt like. So I want to get back to it. So thanks for letting me ramble. I'm glad
Yeah, no, I
found you guys.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. It is
Great.
it is honestly like you even just at 25 days, you start understanding, like even now, like I think this week I made my meals up and I'm like, I'm gonna have a good week. I think I did a reel about that too. Like I'm setting myself up for a good week because my meals are done. And that's totally from the 5x5. Like I know if I do that, I'm gonna crush the week. If I don't, I won't.
The preparation is so key. You're right. The decision fatigue, even when I make a giant pot of lentil soup and I have it like for 2 or 3 days, that's just what I eat because it's right there and it's all
Right.
prepared.
Right. Yeah. All right. Any other questions, comments, introductions, stories? Sweet. So I did this early, so we had a couple days in case you had questions about shopping or prepping. And well, the first is right around the corner. Where is it?
Sunday.
Oh, we got time. Sunday, we got time. Oh, don't do what Tim used to do. This doesn't mean my sister. My sister's gonna go on a diet, so it's like game on. Don't do that. Don't do that. So it'll be good. This is gonna be fun. Our funnest one yet. We'll make this super successful. All right. With that said, we'll see you guys. We'll be in
All right.
touch in the group. If you need anything, let us know. If you can't get in, let us know. Whatever you need, we're here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Take care.